Well, welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today I'm going to show you how to build an industrial bird feeder. Not the kind of bird feeders that you kind of just look at and they look nice and you can see all the seeds inside the tube. This is a bird feeder strictly for the birds. Not for us to look at, but is strictly to feed the birds during the winter. And this is it right here. Just PVC pipe, 4 inches. And we have 2 caps, PVC cement. And this here from the dollar store, $4. And I'm going to show you how to install all these things together. And this is for all of you that enjoy feeding the birds, not just looking at them, but this is a terrific solution, a low-cost solution. This is relatively really cheap compared to you go out and buy a store-bought bird feeder that looks all nice and fancy. Well, this doesn't look all nice and fancy. It's there just to feed the birds. Let's get to it. Well, here's the first start right here. Now, I cut my piece 24 inches. Now, you can make yours any length that you want. They're very easy to cut. And here's the caps. You can buy the caps and they just slip over nice and, you know, snug and that kind of thing. But you really want to cement the bottom one in. So we'll just get the cement here, and you don't got to be real fancy about it, right? I mean, this stuff does dry pretty fast. So we'll just put it on the inside here. There we go. There, that's all you need. Then we'll just push it on and let it dry. Well, the next step, they make it pretty easy for you, is if you look right on the top there, there is a stamp, and right in the center of that little arrow there is the center point. So we'll just drill a hole right there. Just, you don't got to be exact. There we go. There, nothing fancy. Now you get yourself one of these, or you could rig up whatever you have, you know, around your shop. And I just put that in there. And put another washer on the other side. And put a nut on here. And let's just screw this right down. And it's as easy as that. I mean, this ain't hard. You can get this hardware anywhere. And it'll last a lifetime. With this whole unit will actually last you your lifetime. So let's move on to the next part. You can see the marks there I put in the on the bottom. And we're just going to drill some holes. And I just put a little bit of a center punch in there first. I'll do one for you, but there's going to be 4. So I just put a pilot hole first. Now usually I would stick this in my big wood vise, but let's see if I can make this hole. Now this is 3/4 of an inch. Now depending on the type of bird seed you're going to be using, I'm just using general bird seed that you'd use all year round. But if you're going to use small little seed, I'd go down to a smaller hole, probably a 1/2 inch. So let's just drill this one out. There, that's not too bad. I'll finish drilling the rest. Now I made sure that the hole is about almost at the bottom, but I didn't want to go through this edge here, so I just made it so that it would just go close to the edge. So this is pretty much at the bottom. So I'll finish drilling out the rest of them, and we'll come back for the bottom. Okay, let's take a look at this Betty Crocker, just a non-stick pizza crisper. See all the holes in it? That's what you want, and I paid $4. So what I did is I got my tape measure, and if you can take a look here, I found exactly where the center is here. And what we have to do now is we have to mount it on the bottom of this pipe. So there's all kinds of different fasteners that you could use. The easiest one for most of you is probably going to just get some all thread and just put a nut on both sides, or you could use one of these threaded fasteners, or you could use something like this where you have to put a fastener on the inside. I don't really care for that one, but I like this one. This one here is just a 1/4 20 thread, and this will screw into the bottom, and I'll put some of that cement in there, and that'll pretty much be it. So I'll bring you back when I got that done and show you the reason why I'm not going to install this plate first. Well, the next thing I did was I just had a hunk of this plastic sitting around, so I took the hole saw there and just buzzed out a round disc, and that will go on the bottom here. So I'll put the I'll just show you here. I'll put this on first, and then we'll put the disc on, and then I got room here to put a nut. So as you can see here, I did use some of the cement to cement that insert in there, and I don't know if you could see there in the light, but yeah, it's in there quite a bit. Okay, so now I move on to the other end here. Now you have to sand this a bit because you don't want this cap to be so tight, and the reason why I like to use this is it gives you something to pull it off with, right? So now you're going to hang it from here. So now we got to move on to how do you keep this lid on so you can, you know, load it up with more birdseed and not have it fall off on you, right? Let's move on to that one next. Well, all I've done here is I put a straight edge across one side to the other, and then I put a mark all the way up, a little center point in there, and we'll just put this on. Doesn't really matter where it's got to go, just till it gets snug, and then we'll drill out the first side, and let's see if we can get it to go all the way over to the other side. Let me just get that. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is drill the other pilot hole first. There we go. Now let's see. Now you think we can get this rod to go through there that I got made up? Well, that bit's not too sharp. There we go. Okay, so the whole idea is, let's see if we can get this rod to go through there. That's going to be a little bit of a snug fit. There we go. Now that's all you really need, is something like this, because that's going to hold it up and there's no way that's going to fall out. What do you guys think? Now, of course, if you go like this, it might, but you know what? This here will never fall out in a million years. So let's get to the last part here before we finish this up. Well, I made a little bit of a modification. The wife was out here looking at this and she said, Steve, I don't like this idea. It might fall out, that pin. So I put just a small little clip in there, drilled the hole through. That's never going to come out. I don't think it would have come out in the first place, but there she is. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you it installed. Just got to put this on. Now this is Teflon, I believe. So you can't paint this. So you get the idea here. This is going to go on the bottom. And it's going to screw right into there. So that over time, you know, as this will probably rust over time. And the whole idea is when the birdseed goes on here, if it's raining or, you know, anything like that, all the moisture will go through this and it won't just sit there like a pile of mud. So let's see the finished product and let's see it hanging up. Well, there she is right there. I'll bring you over and give you a close-up of it there. Now that's an old bracket that I had from years ago. All I did was stuck a carriage bolt in there, and then I put a nut on the back side that just slips over, and that's pretty well it there. I mean, what do you guys think? mean, you could see how the birds would just go in there and pick it out. So I mean, it's not like it would all fall out on you or anything. So there she be right there. Well, what do you guys think? Yes, that was a summertime video from last year because I had to paint it, I had to do all this stuff, and I'll put some pictures on my Instagram post during the wintertime and see how it all works out. But so far, it's been there for a couple hours, and yes, I have seen some birds on there, and they seem to like it so far. What do you guys think? Now, I'm predicting that, depending on where you are in the world, it's about $15 to $20 to build one of them. Like I say, you can make 4 24-inch feeders out of one length. And I think it's a cost-effective solution. And you could see you can alter it any way that you like. You can put different holes. You can put pegs in there, if you know, for the birds to actually stand on if you want. There's all kinds of things that you can do, and that will last a lifetime. If you go take a look at some of these bird feeders out there, yeah, you know, they sell bird feeders. A friend of mine is in marketing, and he says, we've never sold dog food to a dog yet. We have to sell the dog food to the humans so they'll buy it for their dog. And the same as bird feeders. They make them look so nice and pretty and everything. Well, they're actually marketing them for you, not the birds. So this is strictly an industrial bird feeder. I hope you guys like it. It's strictly for the birds. I don't know, you guys. You guys let me know in the comments below whether you think it looks half decent or, you know, or what. But for me, I think that's the way to go. And I'm going to be feeding them all year round. So thanks for joining me here today. If you've never seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again. Let's have some more fun. Cheers.